Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'll show you how to load and display GIF animations in DirectX 11 using ImGui. This is perfect for creating, loading animations or other dynamic UI effects in your application. So obviously you can customize it, use any GIFs you'd like, maybe even make your own GIFs. Before starting, please leave a like and subscribe as it helps me a lot, and let's get right into the video. So we are gonna do our GIFs by basically splitting the GIF into frames, loading the frames one by one, and then displaying them really fast. Basically destructurizing and then recreating the GIF inside our memory. Anyways, you can do this two ways. You can load the GIF as a file or from memory with bytes. Now, we'll do it as a file today, and maybe I'll make another video on how to do it from memory. Obviously there's not much to change, so I'll hint you how to do it in this video as well. And I want to also tell you that we've also done this with the images, so it's pretty similar. Anyways, I had another idea but I lost it, so that's that. Oh yeah, so I'll probably do videos on DirectX 9 as well, and if requested maybe DirectX 12, but DirectX 11 is the series. So we'll continue on this for today's video. Anyways, first thing we have to do is go and check our includes, make sure we have D3, D11, make sure we have vector, and make sure we have stbimage.h, which is an external library. It's a third-party library. If you don't have it, obviously I'm gonna leave it in the description and you can download it from there. Anyways, after you've done this, we need to create a structure for our vector which will hold the GIF frames. So let's do it here after config. Config was in the last video, or actually a few videos where we've made the config save to JSON. Anyways, we're gonna do it here. We're gonna go struct and let's say GIF frame. And we're gonna have two things here, the texture and the delay between each frame. So for the texture, we're gonna go id3d11 shader resource view, and let's name this texture. And after that we need a delay, so we're gonna go float delay and just that. I'm gonna leave some comments along the way because some people just want to get the code from the description. Obviously you're gonna have the code in the description as you have in many videos of my videos. So if you want to directly get the code, then you're gonna have some comments to help you. So delay time for each frame. After this, we need some variables here to have them globally. So first of all, we're gonna create our vector, which is gonna be std vector. We're gonna use the structure that we just created, so GIF frame, and then let's name it GIF frames. Subject, you can name them however you want. Also, we need to have an int with the current frame, so we keep that in mind. And we need a frame time. I'll explain this later. So frame time. Now the part where we load the frame is similar to, see here it's 0.0. The part where we load the frame is similar to another video I showed you where you load from memory a picture, a JPEG or a PNG. So I'm gonna go a bit faster over that part. I'm not gonna explain everything because I've already explained that in another video, but the rest we will do step by step. Anyway, so this is the part I'm talking about, the create texture from memory. So I'm gonna just paste this from here. I'm gonna show you all the adjustments. So first of all, we're gonna have a id3d11 shader resource view, create texture from memory. This will be our function to create the texture. We're gonna do it from memory because we are gonna convert the GIF to memory, the GIF, the whatever. So this is the definition of our first function here. After that, we're gonna have the texture and the description, which again we've done in the previous video, but I'm gonna type them. So id 3D11 texture 2D star, and then we're gonna go texture, set it to null PTR for now, null pointer. And we're also gonna have d3d11 underscore texture 2D underscore desk, and name it desk, whatever, doesn't really matter. And then we need to type the, let's say, attributes to this info, whatever. So we're gonna have desk.width equals to width, but again, I'm gonna paste this because you have it in the last video, and I'll just explain them. So obviously, desk.width equals the width we get here. Height the same, MIP levels and array size, let them to be 1. The format we're gonna use so 8 bytes I think, R8, G8, B8 and A8. So we're gonna use RGBA. Sample desk.count, not really necessary, but set it to 1. Usage default, and bind flags, bind shader resource. So these are the description arguments here. And after that we need the sub resource data. So d3d11 underscore sub resource data init is data, and then I guess anyways 2 more things I think. Yeah, so init data here, we're just gonna set the P system memory to data, which we get here, the image data, and then the system memory pitch, I'll show you in a second. Image data dot piece, no, actually system pitch seems like it's gonna be equal to width times 4, assuming we have 4 bytes per pixel, and we will most likely have, because it's RGBA, we are working with RGBA, so we're gonna do width times 4. After that we need our H result. So H result, HR we name it usually, it's gonna be device, we're gonna create texture 2D, and then what we're gonna use, okay, we're gonna use the description we created, the desk, the init data, and after that the texture. So texture, something like this. Now you can do if failed to check for a failure here and return a new PTR if you have any failure, but that's more for debugging and stuff. It should work fine. Anyways, going on, we need the shader resource view now, and we'll do that now. So first of all, we need to create a texture view, which will be a simple ID 3D11, if it's confusing, shader resource view, and let's name it texture view, equal to null pointer for now. We're gonna fill it right now, and now we're gonna set HR to device. So device, create shader resource view, and we're gonna use texture first argument. Then for pdesk we're gonna use null PTR. We don't have a description configured for this, and you shouldn't need one. And then we're gonna fill the texture view which we've just created. So texture view. This being said, we're gonna release the texture now. So texture release, and after that we are gonna return the texture view, which hopefully should now contain our texture. So return texture view. So this is the create texture from memory, which is pretty similar to the one we used to create our image some videos ago. But anyways, if you have any problems or stuff, join the Discord server and we'll help you there. Maybe I missed some things, I'm not always perfect. You might get a, let's see what it says, texture could be 0. Yeah, it could be 0. So again, if you want to fix this, you can go if failed and do your debugging stuff. It could be 0, but it most likely won't be. Okay, if you ever get an IT job, don't do things like this, okay? Anyways, now we're gonna move on to the void load GIF, so to our second function, which will be used to load the GIF texture. And after that, we're gonna have our third function, which will render the GIF animation. I told you this video is a bit longer, so we're gonna go void load GIF. We need a device, so ID3 D11 device, name device as an argument, and we also need a file name, so constant char file name. After that, we need three variables, which we fill afterwards. So int width, we need the height, and we need the number of frames, which will be all filled by the data we're gonna receive in a second. So we're gonna go unsigned char unsigned unsigned on Jesus. Okay, new keyboard. I'm sorry, unsigned char data, and we're gonna use the library I told you at the beginning of the video you need. We're gonna use stbi, that's the library, underscore load underscore gif. And as you can see, you can use load gif from memory if you want to load it from memory, but we're gonna load it from file for now. So file name for the first argument, then we're gonna have width for width, height for height, and I think now comes the frames. Let's check. No, it doesn't show. Unfortunate, but it should be frames. Why does it show stbi load gif as being undefined if it's clearly defined? Let's check that. Change of plans. Seems like the version we have does not offer to load the GIF from file. So we're gonna change things up a bit and we're gonna go from memory. Let's see what this asks. It asks for a buffer, len, delays, XYZ comp, and required comp. Alright, so when we use load GIF from memory, we're gonna change a few things. So device, we don't need file name anymore. We're gonna use constant unsigned char here, GIF data, and we're also gonna need a size t GIF underscore size. This, and after that, should be alright. Okay, so go here to load GIF from memory. Instead of file name, we're gonna write GIF data. Instead of, actually not instead of, after that just write GIF underscore size. And then we're gonna need to reorder them a bit. Bring frames before width. So here, width and height afterwards is alright, and we're just gonna go null pointer here, and after that required comp we're gonna set to 4. Yeah, so this is how you do it. Anyways, let's check exactly what it wants here. Delays, so frames. Why does it have 2? I don't know. This is weird. I don't think this is the best solution, but you can just do this. Put an int, put the type before because it's still an int. Yeah, you might get some things. You can actually initialize it if you want with equals to 0, but you don't need, because you're gonna get it from somewhere else. It's gonna fail. Anyways, type another 4 here after the last 4. Should work fine. Okay, should work fine. Anyways, after that we're gonna check. You can do a check, you don't really need to. You can do if frame data and return like a message box here, something if you fail to load a GIF. We don't need for now. And after that we're gonna split the GIF and load frame by frame. So what we're gonna do is do a for int e equals 0, I smaller than number of frames, I plus plus. And here we're gonna start with a frame, we need the frame data. So unsigned char frame equals to frame data plus, let's use mathematics here, quality mathematics. So frame data plus I times the width times the height times 4. So we like this have a pointer to each frame's pixel data. Why doesn't it want our frame size? Let's check for a second. Okay, I sometimes get messy with my own stuff. So let's name this frame data. This is frame data. I was asking myself, why doesn't that work? Well, it does. I can't seem to be able to name things. So ID3, D11, as always, shader resource view. We need the shader resource view. Now I'm gonna name it texture, and then we're gonna use the create texture from memory function we've done here. Gonna give us arguments the device. We're gonna give the frame. We're gonna give the width, the height, and that's all. After this little thing, we're gonna go GIF frame, or vector here will be equal to texture, and the delay is 0.1f. You can change this if you want things to go faster or slower. And after that, we're just gonna set into the vector. So GIF frames, the big vector, dot push back, and we're gonna push this GIF frame here. This should be all right. And after that, to clear out some memory, SDI image free, and just go frame underscore data. This should do all right. Now let's actually render the GIF animation, and I'll show you at the end of the video how to convert your GIF to bytes if you don't already know that, but if you watch my tutorials, you should. Anyways, now we're gonna go to void render GIF, and let's type it big GIF animation. We need a float delta time, and let's go. So we check if the GIF frames are empty first. So if GIF frames empty, we check for it so we know if we have a GIF loaded or not. So if not, ImGui text no GIF loaded, and we're going to return our function here, and oopsie, we're going to return our function. And if not, we can go like this: frame equals to, I mean, we're just gonna use plus equal to delta time, frame time. Actually, we're gonna use frame time. Okay, I mess up the names of the variables sometimes, excuse me for that. Frame time plus equal delta time, and then we're gonna use the basic peak checking if you ever coded certain cheats, DLLs and stuff, you know this. Anyways, if frame time is bigger than, actually bigger or equal, then GIF frames current time. So GIF frames current frame dot delay, we get the delay. So if that's bigger, then we set it to 0. Frame time, let's do it 0.0f. And after that, the current frame is going to be equal to current frame plus 1, current frame plus 1. Then we're going to use mod, so percent GIF frames dot size, the size we still have. So by doing this, we are going to loop back to the first frame. After that, we're just going to set our image, ImGui image, and we're gonna do a set it as a void give frames of current frame. What do you want? No problem. Dot texture. Okay, now it's alright. So we need a texture from that vector, and after that, obviously the size. I'm vector 2. Now, if you know the size and you want to keep it the original size, you can tag the size. I'm not sure the size of our GIF. I'll show you. This is the GIF I want to use, which is a GIF I took from Stack Overflow. Look here, 630 by 637. We're gonna do it smaller. We're gonna do something like 128 by 128. But you can always adjust the size. Now we need the data, and I'll show you how to load it in by using the function we just created. So give me a second. I'll be right back after I extract everything. Actually, I decided I'll show you how to do it. So two ways to do it. If you want to load it from a file, you can create a function to convert that file into a byte array. But most likely you're gonna hard code this into the solution and don't want to use files, so we're just gonna go the old way I showed you before as well. So we're gonna convert the file ourselves to bytes and hard code it into the program. We're gonna open our dear HXD, which I don't know how to pronounce. And what we're gonna do here, if you don't already know, we're gonna drag our GIF into it. So bam. Now all this messy stuff, we don't really care, because we're just gonna go to file, export, and we're gonna choose C, which will export it as a C array. So download, bam, it's exported. We can now close this, and let's go into our separate file here. This is the file where I also showed you how to do the font and images and other things like that. And now I'm gonna show you how to do it for the GIF. So again, it's gonna be an unsigned char. I think we use unsigned char. Yeah, and we're gonna do the same thing. Unsigned char GIF underscore data, and we are gonna open it. Now we're gonna put the GIF data, which is the file we just downloaded. So this, the .c1. Gonna open it. It's probably big. Yeah, it's big. Okay, this is the raw data. We have a size here as well, but we're not gonna use that. It's better to dynamically get the size of it, so I'll show you. Just get this thing, slam it here, and after you do this, we're gonna go int GIF. You can do this whatever you want. You can just go int GIF size equals to size of, and we're gonna use our GIF data. I don't remember if we used GIF data. I hope not, but for any thing, I hope it works. We're just gonna rename it to Jesus Christ GIF data 1. We're gonna do that. I don't remember if I named something else GIF data. So as well as GIF size 1. We'll do this. Then let me show you how to implement it. So we have everything coded here beautifully. Let's hope this works. We're gonna go outside, so we're gonna go into our main code, but outside of the while loop, obviously, to first load the GIF from memory. So we're gonna do, as you say, I showed you how to do more things here. Anyways, we're gonna do load GIF from memory, or we named it load GIF, seems like. Load GIF, and now we're gonna pass our device, which will be G_PD 3D device. This is the main device. If you're using ImGui with DirectX 11, you should have this. You most likely have this. If not, maybe it's renamed, but you do have a device, so find it. GIF data. Actually, no, because we're gonna create a vector, so we're just gonna go for the GIF data. We're gonna go GIF data 1, and for the GIF size, we're gonna go GIF size 1. Here we load the GIF, and now we need to actually show it. So we're gonna go create a new window somewhere here. Actually, let's just do it in another window here. Why not? Show another window. Let's make it this true by decode, so I don't need to bother with the window. Make it show. And we're gonna do here and simply render GIF animation, the last function we created, and we're gonna go ImGui get IO, and then we're gonna go delta time this one. Yay! So with this being said, let's see if it works or not. I already knew that there was something fundamentally broken with this, and we are going to fix it. So first of all, we're gonna create here a delay. So here we're gonna create an int star delays equals null pointer. I'm gonna leave it to you in the video to know that there's a fix at the end. So int delays null ptr, and here we also need be after frame some components. We've done some things wrong because I wrote the script for stbi load GIF not from memory, and when I changed it I forgot some things. So instead of frames here, which just look incredibly weird anyways, we're gonna put delays, and instead of null pointer here we're gonna put components. No, actually, sorry, here it's gonna be frames instead of null pointer, and here is gonna be components. And now, are you ready for the big reveal? It's not really a big reveal anymore because I'm gonna kill myself. Ah, nice, I just forgot this. I'm ready for a big reveal. It's not really a big reveal because I paused the recording and make sure it worked, but anyways, you're gonna see our beautiful GIF here. Obviously, you can do it so it stops looping after it showed once, it goes away, or it can loop a few times and then stop. But as you can see, we now have a working GIF inside ImGui, which is pretty cool if I say so myself. But yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching. I'm gonna leave it in the video, I'm gonna leave the description, the code, and in the video I'll show you where I got it wrong so you don't waste time. But anyways, this is how you make a GIF into ImGui. This video is 27 minutes long. Jeez. Anyways, thank you a lot for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, because this video was not that really easy to make. It took some time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.